guys, it's Debbie. Today I would like to speak about all the discussions surrounding Sherlock Holmes, portrayed by Benedict Cumberbatch in the TV series Sherlock, one of my favourite shows ever. This is the first part of a 2-video instalment which will speak about certain topics which have been surrounding Sherlock and many other works of art, which are disability and sexuality. I will leave the link to the second video in the description box below, and in both videos there will be subtitles available. So in the Sherlock series, the main character, Sherlock Holmes, has what we could call a particular attitude. For example, he often creates situations which will then negatively affect other people's lives, particularly his best friend John Watson's. When he is not working, he avoids most social interaction and prefers to spend his time on his own. He can be quite harsh with victims, relatives, and so on. Also, he often displays a series of repetitive gestures such as flapping his hands, rocking his body, fixing certain objects, and he also has minor breakdowns when he is upset. Now, everything I said and many more features are extremely common in nearly everybody on this little planet Earth. There's nothing that peculiar about Sherlock if taken out of context. But obviously we are speaking about a TV show. He is the main character, and the creators have worked around this personality, enhancing certain features, adding clever dialogue, a certain amount of humour, and they also exaggerate the situations in which Sherlock gets into and the absurd ways he manages to get out of them. Also, as I said in my previous video, at a certain point in the series, John Watson, so Sherlock's best friend, hints at the fact that he could have Asperger's syndrome, which sits on the autism spectrum and which can also be displayed through some of Sherlock's behaviours. Also, when people make fun of Sherlock or insult him for his behaviour, he nearly always replies with, "I am a high-functioning sociopath," hinting to the fact that he could have been possibly diagnosed with a disorder, if we want to call it like that. And now let's take a look at Eurus, Sherlock's sister. Eurus has a series of unspecified issues which lead her to committing serious crimes, and in the final episode there are hints to the fact that she could possibly also be affected by multiple personality disorder, but the two facts are not connected. Eurus's personality is more of a plot device for the ending of the episode. Unfortunately, we live in what has been defined an ableist world. Ableism means discrimination towards disabled people. It also means that there actually isn't such thing as a disability. Disability is an umbrella term for a series of conditions which affect many people both mentally and physically. They are not less able, so in reality the word disabled or disability doesn't actually mean anything. But there's nothing wrong about speaking about it. If we were never open about it, we wouldn't be where we were now. I wouldn't be here speaking to a potential audience of people on this platform. The problem is that people have been misunderstanding the concept of studying this topic and being open about it, with treating it as a fun topic, an exhibition to enjoy with a mixture of fear and awe. As a matter of fact, after Sherlock aired, instead of enjoying this beautiful show, instead of appreciating that its creators gave us an interesting character with a modern twist on Arthur Conan Doyle's works, instead of recognising that they gave a possible context to Sherlock's behaviours, leaving some mystery about his character which has always been very puzzling, instead of appreciating that Eurus wasn't judged for her issues and instead received help from her brother, instead of doing all of this, the whole world spent hours and hours, wrote pages and pages, published videos, blog posts, trying to find a reason behind Sherlock's behaviour, trying to find what's wrong with him, trying to fit him into a box. Yes, that's the right terminology, fit him into a box, because he is different. No, he's not mysterious. He's not a genius consulted detective who which gave us 4 series of wonderful adventures. He's not a best friend, a lover, a son, a brother, a colleague, a detective. It's as if we needed to find something wrong with him. John said it in 2012 at the end of the 2nd episode of the 2nd season, so he must have something wrong. There must be something weird about him. People have been closely observing stills from the series to try and work out whether Sherlock was having eye contact, thus diagnosing him as if we were doctors. People have been purchasing merchandise with "I am a high-functioning sociopath" printed in bold capital letters, using a serious condition as a fashion statement. And all of this is absolutely sick and twisted. We should appreciate and encourage the fact that cinema nowadays doesn't have boundaries and can address certain topics which earlier on were stigmatized and avoided. Sherlock is a perfect example of this because it is 2017. He might have a disability, we don't know. The creators of the show were respectful enough to not use this as a bait for viewers. What we do know is that disability is not a show. People are not clowns for us to gawk at. What we also know is that disability isn't a fun topic. It can be a topic of art. We don't have to be afraid to address it. Take a look at Rain Man, The Theory of Everything, Silver Linings Playbook, A Beautiful Mind. It is an important topic, a serious topic, and also thanks to art, we can inform people. Films and TV shows are an easy way of conveying a certain amount of information to a large audience. And Sherlock is extremely modern and understanding in this sense. So please, let's keep on enjoying Sherlock, but let's stop desperately trying to fit him into a box. Because this behaviour isn't open-minded, it isn't understanding, it doesn't help others, it doesn't move forward, but brings us back and makes us step on our old mistakes. Please check out the second part of this 2-video installment, which I will leave linked, and I'll see you soon. Bye!